Hello everyone, this is Professor Hill, and this is a short video for our class, Introduction to Philosophy 1301 here at St. Philip's College. This is the Summer 1, completely online version of the course, and today is Thursday, the 13th of June 2019. So this is day 4 of week 1 of our class, and we're trying to get into the habit of having assignments due on Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday. So last night at midnight, the first thing was due, which was the introduction and welcome. I'm going through those things this morning. And again, I just wanted us to get in the habit of both posting something first and then reading through your classmates and commenting on at least two. That was simple and easy to do with the introductions, but it's the habit we want to form for the discussions, because there we're going to be essentially writing a small mini essay, posting that in response to the discussion question, and then after we post that, going through and reading the others and commenting on at least two of your classmates. So that's the mod. Now again, I know people, it's the first week, people are still getting their books, about philosophy, so you want to get that. And you're reading through chapter 1, because again, with the discussion questions, we're going to read a chapter, have a discussion question, which is about that chapter. And so, we're reading chapter 1. We're talking about it. And I mentioned something yesterday that I want to come back to and talk a little bit more about it. Yesterday I mentioned that when I was a freshman studying philosophy and they began with Socrates, I said, why? And they said, who knows? And so I said yesterday, look, I wanted to talk a little bit about Guns, Germs, and Steel, the book by Jared Diamond. The National Geographic special they did about that and broke it into 3 parts, and I put the first 1-hour episode from YouTube up into our playlist. And the reason I put that up was because his question was, why are there different countries at different levels of development, some extremely advanced and developed, others still developing, very poor? And I said that also had some insights for us about our question, which is, why did philosophy begin in ancient Greece? Well, it turns out, I think Guns, Germs, and Steel has some insight into the transition that we made as a species from hunting and gathering to stable food supplies because of the plants and animals in our geographic regions. And that's how some civilizations got a head start on others and proved to be at a geographic advantage, and that translating into a cultural advantage in terms of their growth and development. Now, again, I highly recommend the book. It's extraordinarily well done. But there's another piece I wanted to come back to following that, because there's another argument to be made, which is that, look, now that we have all these cultures out there, some developing, some developed, the reason that we still stay stuck on ancient Greece is not because it started there and they did it best and first in ancient Greece. The argument here is, no, it's because of our own kind of Eurocentric values, meaning that as Americans, we have privileged this set of philosophers and what they were doing because of our own perspective being the colonial descendants of Europe. And again, you see some of that history in Guns, Germs, and Steel. The argument here is that that's biased us. That has limited our perception. And the fact of the matter is, and I'll put up a short article about this, that we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. Meaning that because of the limits of our bias and prejudice and our perspective and the way we perceive things, we value this kind of Eurocentric philosophy over the philosophy of Africa or India or Islamic or Latin America, Native American philosophies. We somehow have not so much disparaged them, but just exalted the Greek philosophers not because of what some meritocracy, what they were doing was better, but because of our perspective. Now, that's an interesting argument, and we should think about that. Because as you'll see right in Chapter 1, the book in our course is really going to fundamentally boil down to two things. It's how do I understand myself and the world around me? Or as our book says, philosophy is about understanding human nature and the nature of the universe. Me and my world. That's what the course is about. How do I better understand myself and understand and try to grasp the way the world really is? Get beyond my limited perceptions. And it turns out that's tricky and hard to do. So I'm also going to post another article. This one is by Jay Garfield and Brian Norton. And they wrote an interesting article called "If Philosophy Won't Diversify, Let's Call It What It Really Is." And they're making the argument, compelling argument, that it's really the Eurocentric nature which is so limited the thinking of philosophy in the United States. And they make this point, which is interesting. The vast majority, again I'm quoting the article here, but you can read the whole thing, I'll put it up on the Canvas page. The vast majority of philosophy departments in the United States offer courses only on philosophy derived from Europe and the English-speaking world. For example, of the 118 doctoral programs in philosophy in the United States and Canada, only 10% have a specialist in Chinese philosophy as part of their regular faculty. Most philosophy departments also offer no courses on African, Indian, Islamic, Jewish, Latin American, Native American programs in the English-speaking world. Only 15% have any regular faculty members who teach any
non-Western philosophy. Well, that's kind of embarrassing as a discipline. And they're asking why. And again, these are important questions about philosophy as a discipline, and also about our teaching and studying of philosophy in this particular course. It turns out that tomorrow I'll also talk a little bit about the faculty at American and Canadian universities and how that also shapes what we study, how we present it, and how philosophy is taught to undergraduates throughout North America. Anyway, more on that tomorrow, but for today I'm going to post these things. I want you to think about them. Keep reading your book, Chapter 1, and about philosophy. And as always, if you got any questions, let me know. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.